So the comment is, thank you for telling me what I needed to hear today. If you have the time to do a video on how to set boundaries, I would appreciate it. Thank you. So there's different types of boundaries, right? What is a boundary? A boundary is a physical structure that can keep things out. So a fence is a boundary for a house, okay? But for humans, a physical boundary may be how close does someone come to us, right? I may allow some of my closest friends to hug me, but some other strangers, I'm not going to allow you to come close to me. Maybe a handshake, or perhaps not even that. Now, there's emotional boundaries, right? How much do I share? How much do I open up? There's religious boundaries, right? What am I practicing? There's boundaries in sexual boundaries. What are you comfortable doing in your intimate relationship? And you shouldn't do anything more than that. And if your partner demands more of that, then that's a sexual boundary being violated. So how do you establish boundaries? You establish boundaries by first identifying what your boundaries are. And usually, unfortunately, the way we realize what our boundaries is when our boundaries are violated. When we realize, whoa, that didn't feel right. That was a little too far. That was too much. So once you've identified that, it's okay. Forgive yourself for not knowing that that was a boundary. And maybe your boundary got shifted. Maybe you changed your boundary because as we grow, our boundaries change. So once you identify it, then you can start to verbalize it and you can vocalize your boundary by telling people around in your life what's acceptable and what's not acceptable. Of course, be polite and respectful about it, but be firm and consistent, right? If someone violates your boundary the first time, and that may happen because they're not used to your boundary, especially if they've been around you and they're used to the old boundary, then explain to them, hey, I'm not comfortable with this. This is a boundary. I would really appreciate it if you respect that. And I understand, you broke it this time, but if you do it again, we're going to have an issue. The second time they do it, then you have a decision to make. Are you going to continue the friendship, the relationship, or are you going to pull back, have some consequences, And that's how you do it. I hope that's helpful. You may want to check out Dr. Ramani on YouTube. She's got an entire channel dedicated to boundaries, and I'm sure there's tons of content creators here on TikTok who also have given great examples of setting boundaries. I hope that helps.